Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's staying safe. I know I am, especially from the heat. It's like 115 degrees out there. But I have a protective hat. But now that I'm inside the building, I really don't need it. So I'm going to put it aside and we can start on the math. Okay? So, first thing is, you're going to see my email address up here. Okay? Remember, if you still don't have it, make sure you have it down. If you still don't know my name or if you're new to the class, my name is Mr. Rivera. Okay? Also, before we get started on today's concept, remember, on the last few concepts we've covered one-step equations. Remember, we did one little step, right, to solve for a variable. Then we moved on to multi-step equations, which we did two steps, right, to solve for a variable. So, guess what today is? You're right, today we're doing equations with variables on both sides, okay? So, don't stress out. I know it looks complicated, it sounds complicated, it's really not, okay? We're gonna work on it together. So, let's get started on the concept. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have the title of today's concept on your notes. It's called Equations with Variables on Both Sides. The first or the example for today is 2x plus 12 equals 3x minus 31. All right, that's the example for today. It might look complicated, it's okay, okay? We're gonna work on it together. Usually when you see a problem with two equations, you can always move anything you like to move, okay? I like to move the numbers that are without a variable. They're called constants, okay? So I'm gonna move, in this case, the 31, gonna move it to the 12. Remember, notice that the 31 is negative, okay? Remember, when you're gonna move it to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes the opposite, okay? So if it's negative 31, the opposite would be positive 31, right? So we have plus 31. They cancel out. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, right? Because of the balance. So, plus 31. You might ask yourself, why not add it to the 2x? The reason why is because notice that the 31 doesn't have a variable and the 2x has a variable, okay? They cannot mix. But the 12 doesn't have a variable, so it combines with the 12. So, we haven't done anything to the 2x, okay? So we can bring it down. So we have 2x. Notice that, two positive numbers, right? So we have 12 plus 31 is positive 43 equals, notice that we had a 3x on the other side. So we're gonna keep that 3x. 3x. Okay? So that was the first step. Now it looks a little similar to what you've been doing, right? A multi-step equation. So let's continue working on it. On the next step, make sure you have all this down on your notes. If you need more time, pause the video, write it down, and then resume the video. All right, guys, now we are on step 2, okay? So, remember, we have 2x plus 43 equals 3x, okay? So, now that we have this, our next step is to combine the ones with variables. The reason why is because we're solving for that variable. Notice that we only have one number by itself that has no variable. We cannot do anything to it for now. But we have a 2x and a 3x that we can combine. Remember, always leave something on each side of the equal sign. Because if there's nothing there, It unbalances the balance, okay? So the only one we can actually move is the 2x, because if we move it, we still have the 43 on one side of the equal sign. We cannot move the 3x because there's nothing else here. So let's move the 2x. Remember, if it's positive 2x, the opposite to move it to the other side of the equal sign is negative, right? Negative 2x. Whatever to the one side you have to do to the other. Minus 2x. 2x minus 2x is 0. We're left with the 43, right? We haven't touched the 43. 43 is by itself. So we have 43 equals 3 minus 2. Remember, 3, subtract 2, 1, 2. We're left with 1, right? So we have 1x. Now that we have 1x, you really don't have to do anything when it's 1, because technically 1 is just 1, okay? Nothing changes. If you were to get another number, though, I'm going to pretend this is a number, okay? So we're going to divide by 1, because there's a number in front of it. They cancel out. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, because remember, it unbalances. So x equals 1 can go into 43 times, right? So x equals 43. And that's it. We solved for x. So make sure you write it down on your notes. If you have any questions, make sure you write to me, to my email. Send the question you have. I'll try to get as soon as I can to it. So let's start on today's assignment. Alrighty, guys. Your assignment for today is we have 2x plus 4 equals 3x minus 6 as your first problem. Solve for x. And then we have 6x minus 2 equals 4x plus 10. Okay? So make sure you submit your answers. Also your notes, don't forget, okay? And I'll be waiting for your email.